Eagles were in the military, there'd be a sniper because they're always hit or miss. I'm going. Sorry lads. Sorry, I'm off. Sorry. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of This Week in Philadelphia Sports with myself, Liam Jenkins, where, if you haven't guessed it by now, we go over everything that happened this week in Philadelphia sports. Again, if you're new around this channel, it would be absolutely amazing if you could hit that subscribe button and leave a like if you enjoy this content. We're this close to 14,000 subscribers and we need your help, you especially, to get it done. So join our community. We have live streams, film breakdowns and a British guy talking about the Eagles, which is what you want. Before we get into the absolute heartbreak of Sunday though, we do have some very exciting news, and that is that next week LJ is going to Prague. Now, why would LJ be going to Prague? Why not Philadelphia? Well, the Flyers opened their regular season in Prague against the Chicago Blackhawks, and your boy got accredited. So Philly Sports Network are going on a European tour. I'll be in Prague trying to bring you as much video content, as many articles and interviews and all of that good stuff as I can, on top of what I'm doing with the Eagles coverage as well. So it should be an exciting week and hopefully I can get you guys some content you enjoy. But it's a big week for PSN. We've got an office, we're going to Prague, and the Eagles lost a one-score game. So let's get into that. I don't even know where to begin with this team. I mean, if we could take that Eagles game and just sum it up with a scenario. You know when you come out of an exam, okay, and everyone's talking about the questions and what they put for the questions, and you're like, oh yeah, on question 4 it was definitely photosynthesis, and they look at you like, no, we all put that. Huh? And then you go back and think of every mistake you've ever made and how that exam is now ruined and your life is now ruined, and you might as well just not bother even opening the results. That is that game. That is that Eagles game. If you're going to define the term shoot yourself in the foot, it would be the Eagles. I have never seen a team so self-destructive. It's unbelievable. The fact that there are 7 drop passes, you've got 3 offensive pass interferences, you've got 2 fumbles, which we're going to get into later on. And on defense, I think we need to have a discussion because it's now being unfairly criticised. Now, Jim Schwartz came into this game without Malik Jackson, without Timmy Jernigan, and a group of defensive ends who, while they're getting pressures, aren't getting home. They're baking the cake, they're not putting the icing on the cake, alright? It's a stale cake, and a not very nice cake. You don't want to eat it. It's almost confusing then that teams across the NFL have now realised that if the Eagles are going to line corners up 10 yards away, and the pass rush is very dangerous, then surely it makes sense to get the ball out quicker and go underneath. Like, sure, I'm sorry, I mean, I might be assuming it. I might be going a bit too far forward. I don't want to go Nostradamus, but that seems like what teams are doing, as evidenced by the fact that Matt Stafford, who was throwing downfield more than any professional quarterback going into this week, averaged under 7 yards per pass. I wonder why that could be. It's almost as if the ball is getting out quickly, isn't it? And the truth is, this team wasn't built to play from behind. No dirty pun intended, alright? Get yourself, get out, alright? Get out. In 2017, we never had criticisms about the Eagles defense, or certainly not to this extent. And the thing is, when you play corners 10 yards off the ball and you're rushing 4 men and you're not blitzing very much, you're forcing guys to throw. You're forcing the opposing team to throw at you, to challenge down the field, to try and stay in the game. If you're down by 1 or 2 scores, the offense isn't going to do that. They're going to just try and grind out the clock and keep you off the field. And that's what every team has done this season. Some have done it better than others. Case Keenum struggled to in the second half. But it's really interesting that I really don't think it's the defense at fault. Hey, they're not exempt here. Ronald Darby again. I'm not going to play the gif of I told you so, but
you all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
I told you so was absolutely victimised before he went off with injury. And then what you see is a defence that in the second half actually played very well. They held their own, they pulled themselves back into the game, and the offense squandered 2 opportunities to win the game in as many drives. And I just don't know what you can say. But you know what's not disappointing, and that is the merchandise you can get on phillysportsnetwork.com right now. If you want a Philly Sports Network shirt, oh my god, I can show you the back of it now. Hold on, wait for this. If you want to look as stylish as me doing these beautiful dance moves, this could be you in a nightclub right now with loads of attention as they go, wow, what sort of brand is Philly Sports Network? And you go, it's not Philly. We're not here for those reasons, alright? It's a happy night. We're well-behaved young people. It's all about Philly. If you want to cop them, links in the description down below. You can help represent the best Philadelphia sports community around and then make us all melt in the process. And you can attribute the offensive inefficiencies down to Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey not being around, but at the end of the day, the problems are going far beyond that. You've now got a running back by committee where Miles Sanders is fumbling twice, but somehow is your team's best deep threat on the day, catches 2 passes for 73 yards, has over 100 scrimmage yards in total, and 2 fumbles. And if it had not been for a couple of breakaway runs, those rushing total yards would have been a lot lower. When Sanders fumbled the first time, that should have been a sign to get him out of the game and give him a talk. This is a guy that fumbled 10 times in 38 collegiate appearances at Penn State. It was someone that really had a problem with protecting the football. We knew that coming out of college. So when he fumbles once, you'd think that that's enough. Get him out, give him a pep talk, make sure it doesn't go to his head. Nah, keep him out there. Dog's like, nah, mate, nah, go on, Miles. Miles, I bet you can run 17 miles an hour to the end zone. Go on, you old dog. Go on, back in there. Oh, he's gone again, is he? Huh? What? Huh? We're just left wondering why. Like, why was Sanders back out there, who then fumbles a second time, while Jordan Howard would run for a first down, build up traction, really start to wear down his defense, and then he's like, now, Jordan, go sit down over there, Jordan, alright? Have a rest. You're going to tire yourself out, you. Go on, get over there. I don't understand. There is no rushing identity. I pointed it out in a video last week. This backfield is so circa 2016, where Ryan Matthews would lead 1 week, he's a goal line back the next week. Darren Sproles would lead 1 week, he's gone the next week. Wendell Smallwood would lead the backfield against the Steelers, he's gone the next week. And to me, he's a bit closer to Wendell than he is to Shady. And I'm not trying to throw shade, pardon the pun, at him, but it's just been bad. I think the one person exempt from criticism can be Carson Wentz, who's done everything possible to put his team in a position of winning, but then he's been let down by drops. And you can easily view this game and go, oh, well, if they weren't 3 drops, they might have won the game. Yeah, true, but there's also a lot more wrong with the offense, so... However, Carson Wentz has been in this boat before, hasn't he? The fact that in 2016, he had a group of young receivers, unproven receivers, who were also struggling with drops, and a backfield that was about as consistent as your stomach after a Vindaloo. He understands this, he's been here before, and from what I want to see with Carson Wentz moving forward is someone that can step up as a leader and just get confidence in those guys. We saw the team ripping into Nelson Aguilar on the sideline after a drop. That can't happen. Aguilar could well be in a position where he's thinking, oh my god, it's happening again. Oh my god. Like, and it's very, very easy to slip and lose that confidence. Wentz has to step up in someone and reassure those receivers. And the thing is, this won't be forever. We know Deshaun Jackson's coming back. We know Alshon Jeffrey's coming back. This will not last forever. But it's important that while you're working with those reserve receivers, Mack Hollins, another one, who earlier this week worried me by saying, I prefer special teams to playing on offense. I can see why, because he's fundamentally raw. He's given away more offensive pass interferences than I've had cups of tea in a week. Struggled with drops, and he just seems a little bit out of sync with Carson Wentz. And then you've got J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, a second-round pick, who through 2 weeks, has 7 targets, 2 catches for 14 yards. What can you do? What can you do? The Eagles missed the boat on trading for Jadeveon Clowney. We knew the loss of Michael Bennett and Chris Long would be hard to negate, and I think we're beginning to see the repercussions of that. But trading for Jalen Ramsey, I don't think is suddenly going to fix this either. As I said last week, if you've got a broken pipe, you don't get a new boiler, you fix the pipe. And there are a lot of... Maybe you should get a new boiler then. There's a lot of pipes broken. I'm no plumber, but that's a lot of excess water you're wasting, which I hate. But even on that last play with Arcega-Whiteside, where he was drafted as a jump ball specialist, was given a bit of an underthrown jump ball, but a jump ball nonetheless, where there wasn't a lot of competition. And Darren Sproles got higher off the ground on the pass he caught in than the one Arcega-Whiteside didn't. It's bizarre. I think there's something just fundamentally wrong. There is so many inconsistencies and lackadaisical play with this team. I just don't know where to look. And the worst part is, you go from a loss at home in a game you threw away on the road to Green Bay, who are rolling at Lambeau Field on a short week. It's a recipe for failure, because if you lose that game, you then go to the Jets, the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Bears within a 4-week period. That's a tough bit of sledding for the Eagles if they can't get it together, regardless of when Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey get back. If they can't get this fixed by that New York Jets game, I've got some severe worries about this team. And you can say, hey, at least they started fast. They didn't even start fast. They got a field goal in 40 minutes of play. It was unbelievable. They got 3 points in 40 minutes of play. That's not starting quick. That's walking to work. That's just a nice leisurely stroll on a Sunday. That's not starting fast. There is a lot fundamentally wrong with this team. Whether it's run blocking, pass blocking, running the ball, catching the ball, scoring touchdowns, stopping other teams scoring touchdowns, getting pressure, basically everything ever. And I don't know what to do about it. Is it just a case of this team was overhyped? Is it a case of we really are missing Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson? Or is it maybe just something simple? On to the Flyers. As I said, we're covering them next week. So LJ flying off to Prague in a little plane. First time I've ever actually flown, so I'm really excited for that. But in the preseason, there's been some ups, there's been some downs. There's been a Nolan Patrick injury, which is becoming a run for the mill, and a Morgan Frost injury, although he should be out 5 to 7 days, back in time for the season opener, just to say hello to LJ, which is all that really matters there, isn't it? But they're in pre-season right now, in the midst of setting their team. Kevin Hazlett's good, and if you want more Flyers content, phillysportsnetwork.com, where you've got content from all of our writers, and even here on the YouTube channel with video recaps from Yariv. And you best stick around next week, because I'm going to be grinding out content like there is no tomorrow, just for you. The Phillies, the Phillies are 4-6 in their last 10. They are now 7 games off a wildcard spot, and I'm losing the will to live, purely because it's the same thing. The Phillies are that girl, you know, the one that got away, that will occasionally walk back into your life, give you a text, you'll be like, it's alive! The dream's alive, we can go again. And then the next day they don't want to know, turns out they were drunk and they slept with someone else. That's the Phillies. That is this team. On another note though, I mean, at least 3 of their prospects made the top 100. Even Gene Segura is struggling right now, who from 2016 to 2018 was a hitting machine. His streak of now .300 is in jeopardy, whatever that means. That's bad, I assume, and that's not good news. Alec Kosovar wrote an article about it. That's on our website at phillysportsnetwork.com. The Philadelphia Union, they lost 2-0 to the New York Red Bulls. They're now 3rd in the Eastern Conference as the race for the playoffs gets a little bit... oh, I don't like it. It's getting a bit... oh, I don't know. They're 6 points off top at the moment, and they could use all the support in the world. So again, go and support your local soccer team before I start badgering you about Charlton Athletic. The Philadelphia Union play at Talent Energy Stadium. Go say hello, go watch the games. And on that note, we've now got a Philadelphia Union podcast up and running with Tim Lovingith and our Philadelphia Union crew all hopping on to give their takes on sports. If you enjoy that, go check it out. But guys, that brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this content, again, leave a like, hit subscribe. We've got an Eagles helmet here. That's good. I don't know why I picked that up. But let us know your comments down below on everything we discussed in today's video. And from myself, Liam Jenkins, I'll see you later.